Oh, okay. All right. So this is where we are. We in here. See this area right in here? Okay, this is where we were just working. So if this, so here's some another scenario on the larger scale. We know we already waiting for a pullback. If this decide it wants to pull back, and we already have a high point that we're looking at out here. So this is where we aiming for next, up in this area. So that means it's continue higher. This is major right here. Once it get here, we know that this is a higher time frame analysis. So what this could do until, so if you look at your whole structure there, let me make that darker. I mean lighter. Come on. Okay. The yellow structure. If this do pull back to go higher to the green zone, now we're looking to see, is it going to bounce again, because it already bounced a couple times and never. So what happened? Price. You see this high point right here? That, let me highlight that. Price could not take that out the first time. Now that's out on higher structure. That's why we're bearish until that gets taken out. But also the low point was taken out. So we're thinking, okay, well, it broke structure to the low side so that it can go lower. But let's say if it don't do that and it go higher, it will need to break this area and retest to continue. But the fact that price came here the first time and it couldn't take that high out is the reason why we're going bearish. So it came, but it couldn't take that out, and it fell. But it fell back to take the low out. So it broke low, and now we're in a correction lower. If it's going to continue lower, then it's going to correct and go lower on the higher time frame. But now that's out on, so it's two different scenarios. I'm gonna take that off. That's going that you have to be mindful of. We have this structure, higher time frame, where prices just broke back down and now it will here. And the overall structure, we're expecting it to continue down lower like this to towards this area. If it needs to break that. If it don't do that yet, what it can do, instead of doing that, it will give us it will give a lower time frame correction. It'll correct back on the lower time frame to go higher, whatever, and then come this way. So what you're looking for on a lower time frame is whether or not this pink one take out this yellow high. So if it whenever it might, wherever it corrects back to, is coming back to the high again. And then at that point, we're watching this high because we're trying to see, is it going to break above, or is it just going to reject and fall lower? That's what we're looking at. That's the same scenario where we're at now. It's just on the lower time frame. See, this is, so what I'm trying to show you is how this just happens over and over, just different time frames. So if I zoom in to where you are looking on your down on your lower time frame, it's the same exact scenario. What we're looking for here, we're looking for this price to either go above here or to break below this one to tell us which way it's going. It's the same thing that you're looking at on your higher time frame. You're just looking at the higher highs and the lower lows. It's the same thing. And we look, yeah, it happens over the same, right? But you're just looking for zones. You're just looking for your zones. Okay, well, we know this is here, so we know when it get here, it have to give us some type of reaction and fall. And then next, we're gonna be looking for the lows. Okay, is it gonna break the low, or is it just gonna pull and go higher above it? So that's the same thing out on the higher time, same scenario with this higher structure. The higher structure is just looking at this one. So is it gonna correct back and then break back above that? At that point, we're gonna be looking at the blue zone because we have this blue area that needs to break. So if it pull back from there, right here, and it starts going back up, we're looking at this. Is it gonna reject or is it gonna break it? Same thing. That's on a higher structure, and but then inside the pink structure, there's your smaller structure that's doing the same thing. That's all. Yep. So that's all. It's just happening on a larger scale, and then on a lower time frame, it's just a smaller scale that is happening on. Each time frame's doing the same thing. Yep. Yep. That's what you're looking at. And being able to mark out your trends like this is what helps. Same, and then you just do the same thing on a smaller time. See, we have this. It's the same thing. It's just a smaller time frame. Yep, is what you're doing, and you're just making sure so you're not lost. You zooming in because this is current, but you're going out because you need to see where could it go. That's why we go back out because now we're trying to see. Well, if it continue, where could it go? Now we're looking left at these zones. Yep. And then you're just using your trend line to box your price in. So if I draw that like that, I'm expecting if it's going to continue higher, I'm not expecting this pullback to go below. So what this tell you is when it pull back, this is the stopping point that it can stop. If it hit this and bounce up, it's respecting. But if it break it, then I know, okay, break it, retest to go lower. That's what it tell us. So this is what we're looking for price to do. To go and see it gave you a higher high point, so it's following your trend, and then it may give you another bounce, we don't know. Then it may come back again because you tried to close your price in, so it may give you another push down, another push up. It may do that before it decide to break, or it may hit this and go higher like this. Yeah, that's why you're using those trends, because you're trying to box it in and waiting for it to break out. Yep. Yep. That's what you're doing. That's it. What you got to do today? Mhm. Oh. Oh, I thought you had to go because you was saying something. Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, okay. So have you found now, so now you found your place on your chart? Okay. Her style is. That's where I get that price action from her. She Yeah, she's all about that price action. So we'll go, she'll tell us to go, and she'll say, do a weekly level. So I'll look at the, I do the best I can, but I'll look and see, do I see like, for one, I always look where's price because you want to always be close to your price. So I'll look to see, do I see a good weekly level? You want at least two touches. And then I go across to see, am I getting two touches there? And then I'll put in my weekly, and sometimes I'll go down to my line chart. If it's not clear enough, I'll go here and I'll look. But then I'll do that. So that's, and then I'll go closer to, then I go down to daily and I'll look, am I seeing anything? Go above it a little bit, see if I see anything significant. And then I'll put in a daily level like that. And that's, for me, that's green. And I'm making sure I'm staying near my pricing. And then I zoom in, go down to the 1 hour, and then I see if I can find something in the way, because you see how those are away. So then I'll go and see if I identify any 1 hour structure close, and then I'll go, and that's for me, that's red. So I'll put in 1 hour red. And I'll try to do one above, one below, because that's closer structure. And then I'll go higher above it and see if I see a zone. And then I'll do that. That's what she have us doing. And then once we identify the levels like that, then she take us, we go down to 15 minutes, and that's when we try to look for structure to see if we see any structure, and try to look for entry and see here this is closer. So then I might come in with a 15-minute structure like this. You're getting closer to your price. And so you're closer. So what you're waiting for this to either bounce off of this structure here to go higher. So she'll come in and draw, like, okay, this could either do this and go higher. Let me see, make that another whiter color. Or it, oh, it didn't change. Or it can go higher if it bounce off of this, okay? Or it can break this. We always want to retest, and go down to this zone because I already have it marked. So you already have your zones marked. This is how she trade, or it bounce and it go higher to this zone. That's how she trade. Yeah, so I couple that with my structure. So I understand this, but then I also understand structure break. So I'm like, okay, because once it hit these points, where is it going next? So I'll look for, okay, I might have a zone, higher zone sitting here, and use that for it to go higher, and use this if it break lower. And then we use candles, highs, close, and lows. So then we'll use daily candles, and you'll put those levels in. She have us to go, and we look for high, close, low of candles, because price sometimes like to respond to those areas. So then I usually do those purple. So I'll go in and I have them labeled. That's the high, that's the close, and then I go find the low. And then I see, oh, my low lines right up with my hour. So when I see things lining up like that, I highlight it. What I do, I make those brighter, because what that's telling me, that's a double zone. So I know that if price come that way, that's something that's major. And then I'll go like this, and then I'll go back in, because price might, instead of going straight here, it might pull up, it might respect one of these levels and then push. So if it do that, I go higher. So if I get something like that, because that's a high here, I'll then take this and I'll move it up like that. If I get a bounce off of one of these. Yeah. That's how she trades. Yeah. Zone to zone. That's what her structure is. But like I say, I couple that with structure. 'Cause I still want to look at my highs. Yep, I look at my highs and lows, and I couple what she taught with that. Yep. Mhm. Mhm. Right. So I'm gonna show. Well, that's something. I'm gonna show you once you get your understanding the because you still need to know direction before you can do this. You have to be clear on which way, because let's say if I'm bullish on this, then I look at that structure. Okay, I verify that. So I know if I'm trying to go bullish, and it's pulled back, I want it to bounce from here. I want it to bounce off this level that I have marked and then start pushing up, correct back to one of these levels so that it can go higher. And then it may come back here and then break this and then bounce to go like that. Bounce and then go higher. That's if but I'm already knowing this because I'm bullish already. And then to maintain this trade, you go down to your 5 minutes and you make sure that your 5 minute structure, sometimes I'll be 2 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, depends on what it look like. I'll go down on that structure and I'll try to make sure that whatever trend I'm in, you want to make sure that it's maintaining. So this is how you do that. Every high point created, you want to make sure that your price pulling back and it's retesting it. So once you get that, you go to the next one. You want to make sure that you keep getting retests on your structure all the way and keep bouncing upward. This is how you maintain your trade and stay in it. Yeah, once you get your high every highs, and you want to make sure I want to make sure that that price stay above this. If that don't, then that's telling me this is probably wanting to reverse. Yeah, it just may. But this works better with trends. Like you have to have a nice trend, and that's how I know. I was telling you because we're not getting nice trends like that. Like yeah, like we know price always do consolidate, but it's not like it is now. You know. So yeah, but yeah, that's how she trade. And then for her non-farm Friday, she says look at your daily before the day come before it's like 2 days before you want to look at that price and see what the candle is telling you. And usually it'll set, for example, if I was here and I see it's approaching, this is a zone and it's rejecting. So by time farm Friday come, I know that I'm bearish because it rejected this right here. Yep. Yes. She said it'll always give you a setup or a clue of which way it wants to go. But she's so thorough with her stuff. Oh my God. That girl. And be moving, so she be really moving fast. Mhm. Yep. But yeah. Mm. Mhm. No, I didn't do it this Friday. I haven't yeah, I haven't back tested that strategy yet, but that's what I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna do that this month. It's because I was working on other stuff. Remember I'm in her option course, so yeah, so I'm trying to focus on that and finish that up. But yeah, yep. But okay. So all righty. So give me a call later on when you need me. Okay. Okay. What? Oh yeah. Yeah.